Congrats! Alam ko noon pa man na magiging cum laude ka. Congrats! Hindi ko in-expect na magiging laude ka. Congrats! Wala ka man kung anong award, pero ako ang sasama sa'yo sa stage. Congrats! Graduation mo na pala. Wala ka bang award? I know all of us heard at least one of these remarks, be it from a parent, a sister, a brother, a friend, a professor, or just someone who either believes in you or doubts you. What amazes me is how these remarks carry expectations, even in moments that should have been nothing but a proud and heartfelt congratulations. As the second batch of possessed students after the pandemic, we were full of uncertainties. We didn't know when our time as online classmates would end. Some didn't know if it was right to let go of their dream program. Some didn't know if it was right to pursue a program they never even knew existed. And some didn't know if it was right to choose living a student's life or a worker's life. It felt as though we were thrown into a pit that took forever to climb out of, to the point that we could barely keep up with those expectations. As we got as we go closer to climbing that pit, the pressure felt heavier. Now that we are finally so close to touching that solid ground, I am curious. Would you let go of that weight on your shoulders, or would you keep on carrying it? If you're going to ask me, I'd gladly tell you that I would just lessen that weight. To be honest, the pressure didn't feel like a burden to me. It became something familiar, something that shaped how I moved forward rather than held me back. And in time, I learned that what once felt heavy was also what kept me going. Because of the weight, we learned to adapt, to be responsible, and to be purpose driven individuals, which are necessary when we become professionals. I myself had received remarks for being awarded as the most outstanding graduate. Most of you may not know me. Most of you may not have pictured me receiving this award. And to tell you honestly, I was one of you too. I never fully knew myself, and I never even imagined talking in front of all of you today. But what unconsciously brought me here wasn't just my grades, my certificates or medals, but the belief I had in myself despite the things I knew I lacked. And with this, let me tell you, you are more than what you don't have. Do not be afraid if you can't keep up with other people's public speaking skills, if you know you can shine if you focus on your visual arts. Do not be ashamed if you think you can't solve that calculus problem within a minute. Do not be discouraged if you do not possess the extroverted nature of your classmate. And my fellow graduates, do not be anxious if you didn't graduate with any academic distinctions. As an aspiring educator, I know and can attest that success has different faces and takes different forms. Yes, some students earned medals and pins, and these are as valuable as the smiles you've received from children who were once participants of the outreach program you have facilitated. Yes, some students received recognition for their high grades, and other students also deserve the same recognition for what they call as merely passing. As I look at all of you here, I can see what I once envisioned my previous students to be, individuals who will flourish and shine in their own beautiful ways. And as I watch you grow into that vision, I am reminded that no path is ever the same, yet one is as significant as the other because our paths are all driven with purpose. Others may overlook the strength it takes to continuously show up, to try again, and to move forward despite uncertainty. But you, yourself, should be proud of that. That alone is already a form of success many often miss. My fellow graduates, hug yourself and say, proud ako sa'yo. To tell you a little story, Christian and Jasaira, the other two magna cum laudes, and I were classmates in elementary. We were part of the top 15 of our graduating class in 2016, but we were not part of the top 10. Why was that such a big deal to me? Because the top 10 students of the batch would have their photos featured at the back of the yearbook. You may think it was silly, but it was something little Charmaine deeply desired. And of course, she cried her heart out when it did not happen. But what stayed with me was not the pain of being an almost top 10 achiever. What stayed with me were the words our advisor told our parents. Dakulon pa po sindang aagihan. Posibleng maging mga late bloomers. Posibleng mag-shine sa kanya-kanyang field. And he was right. All of us found our ways to shine. Today, I am proud not only of Charmaine, Christian, and Josiah, but of all of you here. Maybe if our little selves still couldn't grasp what success truly means, or what it really looks like, perhaps we should stop seeing it from other people's perspective, but try seeing it from our own. While we were at that pit, and when we were able to stand back up. But now, having experienced both the depths of the pit and the strength it took to climb out of it, perhaps it is time to define success for ourselves. Success is not always being part of the top 10. Success is not always having your picture at the back of your yearbook. Success is not always graduating magna cum laude, or any academic distinctions. Sometimes, success is simply having your graduation photo taken. It is sometimes sitting at that very chair you're sitting at. Sometimes, success can mean you have overcome different storms without changing yourself, while still being that little you who stick with his or her principles and with strong moral values. Success can also mean sitting as part of the audience because you chose to let your children, sister, brother pursue their own kind of success. If ever the time comes when we are able to stand, may we all stand with pride as we look back at the pit that once taught us to persevere and endure, not as a place of defeat, but as proof of how far we have come. And though the climb may have changed us, may it never harden us into forgetting where we started. Let the memory of all the struggles keep us humble, even in moments where we already feel like our dreams have been fulfilled. For it is easy to forget the weight of hardship once the ground is steady, but we must remain grounded. Let success not make you distant from who you were when things were difficult. Instead, let it remind you of the patience, effort, and resilience it took to rise. So if ever you hear those remarks again, focus on the congratulations and still, regardless of the comments that follow, thank them. For that simple congratulations is a big hug to your younger self. Gratitude, after all, is embedded in one of the pillars of Bicol University, the character. It teaches us to remain humble in our achievements and appreciative of the people who have been part of our journey. May we continue to be lifelong learners, always eager to gain knowledge and adaptable to an ever-changing world. As we move forward, may we embody the four pillars of our university: scholarship, leadership, character, and service. Mr. President Baby Boy Benjamin Nebres III, thank you. Dr. Maria Julieta Borges, thank you. Sir Ronel Janeta Sr., thank you. Dr. Rickmar Aquino, thank you. To Honorable Crisol Lagman, thank you. To the University Registrar, to the guests, to the distinguished deans and directors, to the members of the Board of Regents, thank you. To Ma'am Ruby Rhea Moral, thank you. To Dr. Glenda Abuela, thank you. To Dr. Carino Orden, thank you. To Ma'am Violeta Mayo, to Sir Joseph Braun, to Sir Ryan Bernido, to Dr. Leonila Barbacena, and to our professors in the Education Department, thank you. To the department chairpersons, to the faculty members, guests, to our proud parents, to our family and friends, thank you. To my mama and papa, thank you. To Cherry, Ryan, Lizette, and Marielle, thank you. To the other three vertices of my square, Azel, Eunice, and Grace, thank you. To Glyza, Cecil, Hart, and Kate, thank you. To Chano and Mare, thank you. To BSED Math 4, thank you. And of course, to my fellow graduates, thank you. And take a moment to thank yourselves. Congratulations, Batch 2026. May God bless us all.